this working? Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and Your Excellency, Ambassador Farouk Kaymakci, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey, distinguished participants and colleagues. I'm very happy to be here and to welcome you to the 4th edition of the Istanbul Innovation Days, hosted by UNDP and generously supported by the government of Turkey. My sincere thanks go to the Minister and to colleagues at the UNDP Regional Hub for bringing us together today and for bringing me to Turkey, my first trip in my new function as the leader of the ARBEC Bureau at UNDP. The diverse and thought-provoking program for the next 2 days involves more than 200 people from the widest range of partners and regions that have ever been convened to the Istanbul Innovation Days. Representatives are here from strategic funders, governments, startups, think tanks, civil society, international organizations at the forefront of changes in governance and peace. This year's event is an exciting opportunity to jointly start to address emerging trends in democratic governance. We have heard already that SDG 16 on inclusive societies is critical to achieving a more just, sustainable, inclusive and peaceful world. And the SDGs overall, it's their precondition in a certain way. That is why this year's Innovation Days are to focus on next generation governance. And specifically, over the next days, we want to be working to answer 2 fundamental questions. First, what does innovation mean in the context of governance and peace building? And what are its implications to policy making? In this, you will be exploring emerging trends and new opportunities related to key components of SDG 16. Human rights and rule of law, politics and participatory decision-making, good governance and sustainable growth, responsive public institutions and service delivery. Together, we will explore the future trajectories of these globally recognized peace and development priorities. Second, how can innovative approaches combined with technological advancement help adapt current programs and lead to next generation governance services? For this, you will be experimenting zones of experimentation embedded throughout the program, during which you will reflect critically on opportunities and challenges. But we will also ask you to assess the risks of new technologies. We have heard it before by Millie. New technologies bear at the time huge risks when inequalities are rising and conflicts are increasing and civil space is under threat. So, dear colleagues, dear Minister, gatherings like this are essential for us to share and to reflect and to connect collective experiences and perspectives. Today, science and technology increasingly intersect with governance and politics. When they do, transformation happen in the ways people live, work, and interact with each other. The challenge is to ensure that we are innovating not simply for the sake of innovation, and that we don't put innovation in everything we do just to make ourselves more attractive to others and to donors in particular. It is to improve lives and livelihoods of the poorest, of the most vulnerable and marginalized, of those hardest to reach in the face of complex problems which have challenged communities for generations already. I'm talking about climate change, which poses existential threats to humankind. The upsurge of armed violence around the world, which 100 years since World War I is threatening still to deepen amid geopolitical currents and tensions. Rising inequality and exclusion of groups and citizens worldwide. Innovation is therefore not just an endpoint. It can also be a much needed expression of our humanity, and in particular of our solidarity with others. This is the beginning of a conversation in which all voices must be heard and in which we want to play an important part. Collaborative experimentation and critical discussion are essential for shared learning and for finding new solutions as we continue on the path of international cooperation. I therefore very much hope that the 2018 edition of the Istanbul Innovation Days on #NextGenGov, I erased it several times from the speech because I find it a little bit difficult to pronounce, will challenge, inspire, and provoke all of us and inform new approaches and solutions to achieving the Agenda 2030 and its Sustainable Development Goals. This is very fascinating work that can move very quickly. We don't know what we will be talking about in this setting 5 years from now. I assure you that what you talk about and agree here will be integrated into our discussions and the future work of UNDP in the region and beyond. It is about development policy at the global, regional, and national levels. In closing, allow me again to thank all our partners who contributed to the preparations of this important event. I want to give special thanks again to our Turkish partners, with whom we have had a long-standing and very important partnership in addressing the development challenges of this region. And we look forward to continuing our joint efforts in support of the SDGs. And so I wish you a very successful, fruitful, and interesting conference. And I thank you in advance for the hard work that you are putting into this in the search for tangible results. Thank you very much.